I often tell people, visibility isn't vanity, it's strategy. And it's about how you think about your objectives as a business and what you want to attract. And we are in an era where if you're not visible, you're invisible.
Hello and welcome to Anchored Echoes, a brand new segment on Entrepreneur Middle East where we try to delve a little deeper into the intricacies of the entrepreneurial mindset. I'm your host Aalia, and as always, I will begin with a disclaimer. This is not a podcast. The intention behind Anchored Echoes is for them to simply be short visual supplements to the stories I get to pen down on some of the most successful and established entrepreneurs in the UAE and the wider Middle East region. So as always, before you tune into the rest of this episode, please make sure that you read the written feature on our guest today using the link below or above, depending on where you are watching this. And with that, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to today's guest, Reim Houni, founder of Ti22 Films and Dubai On Demand. Reim, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Perfect. All right, so first question, Reim. In your role, you essentially help brands gain visibility for their unique services and values. But we're also in a time when perhaps seeking credibility and seeking visibility can sometimes be misconstrued with seeking fame, and specifically within the social media construct that comes with algorithm criteria as well. As someone who understands the creative process and also helps brands find their own voice, what would you say is the top most important aspect they need to be keeping in mind when it comes to, ensuring that there is inspiring and motivational storytelling while also preserving the sanctity of a brand's core mission?
I think that's an excellent question because I grew up in an era where I also believed that anyone out there in front of a camera was seeking fame. And I've had to shift that mindset for myself. And I often tell people, visibility isn't vanity, it's strategy. And it's about how you think about your objectives as a business and what you want to attract. And we are in an era where if you're not visible, you're invisible. So I think as soon as business owners understand that this is not about what you're eating for breakfast. It's not about the vanity metrics that get you fame. It's about how do you add value to your end customer so that they want to work with you and it attracts those opportunities. And a big shift is in your mindset. So for me personally, everything I do in the visibility space is business development. I know that when I'm out there and I'm adding value, it's going to attract something new for my business. But the only way that's going to work is if I'm actually adding value. And in fact, the data says it all. There are lots of studies and statistics out there that show that nowadays, 66% of people are more likely to do business with you if they've watched a video of you. 73% of people are more likely to do business with you if they're following you on social media, which means that, the numbers don't lie. This is no longer about look at me, look at me. This is about how do I ensure that I meet my business objectives? And a big part of that is your visibility. So for me, it's shifting it into the business development space, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and realizing that as a business owner, you have value. And how do you package that value for an audience at home or to your end customer? So I think looking at education and entertainment being the two most successful types of content. Entertainment, I think, is very subjective and difficult to achieve. But education, we can all do that. So if business owners start to realize that they need to educate their audience, add value, they will start to attract the opportunities they truly deserve. And that's an area I'm very passionate about.
Absolutely. It's about flipping the script and changing the mindset towards how we view that. Absolutely. All right, next question. Reim, we've just passed October the 1st, and in a recent post you mentioned that was the date that changed everything for you. And that's because 4 years ago at the Expo 2020 in Dubai, you led the production of a daily show, which ultimately ended at 182 episodes, consecutive episodes. Now, in addition to leading a vast crew, you were also dealing with and working with dignitaries and officials from over 190 countries. And I'd assume that comes with, some serious human management skills. From your perspective, from your experience, whether a team is large or small, what would you say are the top 3 factors business leaders must keep in mind to ensure that they unlock the best of their team's potential?
I think that's an excellent question, and I think especially when you're thrown into projects like Expo, where there are so many unknowns and so many moving parts, I think having the right core values within your team are essential to move things forward. So I often tell people that number one is flexibility. We're in an industry where things change all the time, let alone when you're in events and entertainment, they can literally change minute to minute. So having that mindset where you're ready to roll with the punches and move wherever the direction you need to go. So flexibility is number one. Having that team spirit, and what I mean by that is I tell people that I really don't care what your job title is. I don't care what's in your contract. If we are going to achieve a certain outcome or a certain mission, we all need to pull together to make it happen. And again, when you're working on these large global events, anything can happen. So you need that manpower to understand that the vision is so much bigger than what your day-to-day role may involve. And the third, which may sound a bit unusual, is having that positive mindset. Like, I truly believe in that. I have such a low tolerance for negativity. I truly believe that you need to have that mindset, that can-do attitude, that whatever challenge comes your way, you know you can overcome it. And in fact, you've probably already visualized a successful outcome. So I think those are the three that I take very seriously and take into any project that we work on.
Final question to you, Reem. You started out as a solo founder, you still are one, but you are a successful founder of 2 media businesses today. Along the way, along the journey, what is the one myth of entrepreneurship that you came across? And as an add-on, what was that one piece of advice that helped you quell the anxiety that came with that realization?
The one myth of entrepreneurship. I think anyone who tells you it's an easy journey, I don't think it is. I think there are ups, I think there are downs, but you learn how to navigate that journey. And for the most part, I think what truly helps me is maintaining that positive mindset, but also having no regrets. You know, I think I've got to that point where if I see an opportunity, I move with it. And I think you need to learn how to take that massive action and just run with an idea. And not everyone is going to agree, and not everyone's going to understand it, and not everyone's going to like it. So I think that that strength in character to allow that negativity to kind of come in one ear and out the other, and stay focused on your end goal, is what has truly helped me keep moving forward. Because there have been so many times on this journey where it would have been so easy to just stop. It would have been so easy, but you know what, there are easier ways to make a living. But when you have that end vision in sight and you're focused, it's that strength and that willpower to look at the end result and just ensure you keep going till you get there.
All right, perfect. What a lovely note to end this episode on. Like I always mention at the end of every Anchored Echoes segment, these aren't meant to last more than a few minutes, but we hope they bring you inspiration that lasts, which is also precisely why that's the tagline of the show. Reem, thank you very much for having been on Anchored Echoes, and thank you for tuning in. If you are seeing this video, if this video has made it to your feeds, it means that the written feature on Reem and her businesses have made it to Entrepreneur Middle East print and online platforms. So like I mentioned at the start of the episode, please do make sure that you read that using the link in the caption above or below. And that's it. We are at the end of the show. Until next time.